I am craving tater tots. We are on a low spend, no spend January, so that is not something I would run to the store and waste our food budget on. But I would try to create our own. So what I did was I went online and looked at a bunch of different recipes for homemade tater tots. And this is what I came up with. A little bit of this from this one and a little bit of that from that one. So first thing we're going to do is take 4, I would say these are like medium potatoes. They're russets, I believe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel them and I am going to parboil them, which means just partially cook them for about 7 minutes. So we put the 4 potatoes in a pot of water and set it to boil. Now you will not start the timer for 7 minutes until it comes to a full rolling boil. We let these boil for 7 minutes and then we put them under cold water and let it just run till they were cool because you want to stop that cooking process. So now what we're going to do is take a grater and I'm going to take this potato and we're just going to shred them. That's all we're doing. How about homemade tater tots? Yeah, this is beautiful. I am so excited because on this low no spend, you're not going to want to waste your money on something frivolous like tater tots when a whole bag of potatoes this week at ShopRite, 5 pounds is 99 cents. So do you know how many tater tots we can make out of a 5-pound bag? So, okay, I'm going to finish grating these up and then I'll show you the next step. Now, our potatoes are dry. There doesn't seem to be much moisture in them at all. If your potatoes are super wet after you grate them, you're going to want to put them in a towel and wring them out. Ours seem to be perfectly dry, so I'm going to add to this, I'm going to sprinkle in about 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay? And then I'm going to give a nice little grind of some pink Himalayan salt. Now to make this a little easier, so I'm not guessing it, we're going to do about a teaspoon of paprika. I know it's paprika, so forgive me that I always call it papa. I'm not sure why I do that, but all right, we're going to put in, about a teaspoon of onion powder. Some black pepper, grinding to taste. And I'm going to do, garlic is a little overpowering, so I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of garlic, but you put in whatever you like. And now what I'm going to do is just take this and I'm going to mix it with my hands actually. Just get all those seasoning and flour into these delicious little morsels. And they're sticking together beautifully. This is holding together beautifully. Because I know when I was reading all these different sites, some people were saying they weren't holding together, they couldn't form it, but these look beyond beautiful. Okay, so I am going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit. You know what? This is a little bit extra work, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, but it's so worth it. Can you imagine how good these are going to taste? So I'm going to make it look like a little square tater tot. You can fry these in oil. I will post down below how you would fry them in oil. We're using our air fryer because if you've noticed something on my channel, I don't do a lot of frying in oil. But we're going to use the air fryer tonight. So I'm making my little tiny tater tot and I'm going to just spray the bottom of the air fryer pan with some olive oil. And then I'll give these a spritzing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make these and I'll show you what they look like. So here are our tater tots. Okay, they're a little square. I know what you're thinking, but they're gonna be great. I got my little olive oil spray and I'm just gonna give them a spray. Looking good. Give them just a little tiny bit more. What I'm going to do now, I want the perfect. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is take them and I'm gonna put them in a 350 degree air fryer. And I'm gonna put them on for 20 minutes, but I'm going to do it in 5-minute increments. And the reason I wanna do that is so every 5 minutes I can take them out and give them a shake. So there we go. How easy was that? Now let's just see how they taste. As you know, I've never done this before. We always do this fun stuff together, so fingers crossed. The first batch is done. Oh my goodness. I cook them at 350 for 20 minutes, shaking them every 5 minutes. So I am going to take one of these out. So I'm just gonna cut it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna tell you, it almost tastes a little bit like a potato croquette. Oh my goodness, definitely give this a try. It is definitely satisfying our cravings for sure. We're having homemade chicken soup tonight, and I was going to serve it with cheese and crackers. And then I thought, let me make some cornbread. Now, cornbread again is something that people make very differently depending on where they live in our country. Some people like sweet cornbread, hot cornbread, cornbread in a cast iron pan only. But I am just making a basic cornbread. It's a sweeter cornbread. It's delicious with soup. It's something to try. It's a super easy side dish that is very economical too. So right here, what I did was I took a cup of milk and I added a cup of regular stone ground yellow cornmeal to it. And I let it sit for about, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, just so the cornbread would absorb some of the milk. Now to that, I'm just gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm gonna add a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna mix this all together. 1/3 cup of oil. 1 egg. It's so easy to make side dishes from scratch when you look around your kitchen and see what you have in your pantry, your refrigerator, because during this month we're trying to use up what we have. And now we're just gonna put in 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. That's all there is to it. Now, like I said, making something like this, it's just looking in your refrigerator. And what can I make with my meal tonight? And soup is great on its own, but it's great to have a little bit of an accompaniment, like a bread with it. And nothing is quicker than cornbread. It comes together so quickly. Here we go. You just want to mix it until it's incorporated. Don't want to overbeat it. Now what I'm going to do, I've got a 9-inch square greased pan. Now you can, again, I know some people swear by only putting it in cast iron. I totally get that. It's probably superb, but we're just keeping it super simple and just doing it in a baking pan. Now, my oven is preheated to 400 degrees and I am going to cook it 20-25 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Now I know you could have added some chopped jalapenos to this. It would be amazing. You could add corn to this. Oh my goodness. So there's so many variations, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make from scratch. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven. This rose beautifully. It cooked for 22 minutes. We're gonna have dinner, so Dixie's getting ready. So I am going to cut it. It looks like it rose really well. Let's see what the crumb looks like though. Okay, it's still warm, but we wanted it warm. Okay, this looks beautiful. You can see it's still hot. It rose beautifully with some melted butter. What a treat to have with our tortellini soup. And you saw how easy it was to do. So keep some cornmeal on hand and you can whip this up in no time at all. Bon appetit.